time programs activated.
Minus 25 seconds.
VSPP opened.
Minus 20 seconds. Minus 15 seconds.
प्रमोशन से 15 सेकंड की दूरी पर
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Lift
Plus
off
5
normal.
Bright morning of the New Year's Day made brighter by a majestic
Plus
liftoff.
10 seconds.
PSLV C-58 carrying India's X-ray Polarimeter Satellite towards
Plus
its
10
destination.
Due to tracking.
जी हाँ, इस वर्ष का प्रथम प्रमोशन
Plus 20 seconds.
श्रीहरिकोटा के प्रथम प्रमोशन मंच से PSLV C-58 का हमने सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन देखा और यह अपनी उद्दिष्ट
Plus
कक्षा
30
की ओर निरंतर बढ़ता हुआ प्रथम चरण का निष्पादन पूरी तरह सामान्य.
Nominal thrusting by PS1 stage. Nominal burn time for the strap-ons is 70 seconds and the core motor for 109 seconds.
इस समय यान अपने अधिकतम गतिक दाब से गुजरता हुआ प्रथम चरण का कुल प्रज्वलन काल 110 सेकंड का होगा. तत्पश्चात इसे यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा.
Sharp tracking station currently tracking the flight.
Ground lift strap-on separated.
दोनों स्ट्रेपॉन्स को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा कोर बूस्टर अभी भी प्रज्वलित है.
Presently the core S139 motor alone thrusting. The strap-ons have been separated.
Normal.
This stage will carry the rocket to 57 kilometers altitude and add 1.6 kilometers per second as a relative velocity.
इस घटनाक्रम पे अगला है प्रथम चरण का पृथकन तथा द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन.
First stage separated. Second stage engine started. Closed loop guidance initiated.
जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है. प्रथम चरण को सफलतापूर्वक यान से पृथक किया गया है और द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है.
There is a confirmation from the range operations director that the second stage has commenced its operation,
Second stage performance normal.
and as the altitude right now is almost at the verge of the dense atmosphere, closed loop guidance has been initiated. The next flight event is eagerly awaited. The next flight event is payload fairing separation.
द्वितीय चरण का निष्पादन सामान्य है. इसका कार्यकाल 152 सेकंड का होगा और इस दौरान यह कुल 800 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर यान को उद्दिष्ट दिशा की ओर
Payload
ले
fairing
जाता है.
separated.
Plus 3
इसकी
minutes.
पुष्टि हो चुकी है. ऊष्मा कवच को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है.
Second stage performance normal.
There is a confirmation of payload fairing separation and a nominal thrusting by the second stage of PSLV.
द्वितीय चरण तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है. इसमें UDMH और N2O4 को ईंधन की तरह इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. वर्तमान में विकास इंजन नामक इस द्वितीय चरण के इंजन द्वारा प्रणोद उत्पन्न किया जा रहा है.
By the time PS2 completes its operation, the altitude of the launch vehicle will be 161 kilometers and relative velocity of 4.5 kilometers per second. Current altitude close to 150 kilometers.
Second stage performance normal.
Plus 4 minutes.
Right, now Pallav sir, we're seeing that two of the stages are successful, healthy payload separation as well. Take us through
पूरी
it.
तरह अपेक्षित
Well, the payload separation will happen a little later. Right now, the rocket is performing its job. The heat shield has separated. For viewers who have just joined us, the Polar Satellite launch vehicle lifted off majestically from the Sriharikota spaceport of India. And right now the XPoSAT along with the POEM is on its way into space. And the third stage of the rocket is currently being operated, and the rocket is going higher and higher into space. And finally, at 650 kilometers or so, the XPoSAT satellite, the satellite to study black holes and neutron stars, would be separated. And that is a very unique moment, because in the new year, a new launch by ISRO, a very unique launch to study black holes and neutron stars and to understand how the universe works. Scientists are very excited by this particular satellite, which has taken 10 years for India's scientists to get it going, and now they must be very happy that it's on its way into space orbit. So let's now listen in to what is happening from the Sriharikota control room.
Tracking the vehicle trajectory.
Third stage performance normal.
During the operation of PS3, the rocket gains an altitude of 45 kilometers. Relative velocity increases from 4.5 kilometers per second to 7.2 kilometers per second.
तृतीय चरण में कुल 7.66 टन का प्रणोद होता है और इसका कार्यकाल 123 सेकंड का होगा। इसके कार्यकाल के पश्चात PS3 का कोस्टिंग फेज शुरू हो चुका होगा। सभी दर्शकगण यहां उत्साहित इस मिशन के सफलता के लिए। अब कुछ ही क्षणों में हम देखेंगे तृतीय चरण।
Third stage action completed.
तृतीय चरण का कार्यकाल समाप्त हो चुका है और इसके पश्चात ही
Combined hosting for approximately 200 seconds.
इसके साथ ही तृतीय तथा चतुर्थ चरण सम्मिलित होकर कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है।
There is a confirmation of expected performance by the PS3 stage, and currently the thrust has been cut off, but the vehicle is coasting with the PS3 still intact. The separation of PS3 has not yet taken place.
Vehicle performance normal.
जी हाँ, यह कोस्टिंग फेज 200 सेकंड्स तक जारी रहेगा। उसके पश्चात तृतीय चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
The combined coasting continues for 200 seconds. Thereafter, the separation of PS3 takes place, but PS4 continues to coast for another 400 seconds. During the coasting phase of flight, the relative velocity reduces from 7.2 kilometers per second to 6.7 kilometers per second, and as a result, close to 400 kilometers increase will be observed in the altitude.
XPoSAT विभिन्न खगोलीय विकिरण उत्सर्जन स्रोतों जैसे ब्लैक होल, न्यूट्रॉन तारे, सक्रिय आकाशगंगा, नाभिक, पल्सर पवन, निहारिका आदि से उत्सर्जित उत्पन्न जटिल प्रक्रियाओं द्वारा होता है और इसे समझना खगोलविदों के लिए भी एक चुनौती बना हुआ है। एक्सरे पोलैरिमीटर हमारी समझ में दो और आयाम जोड़ेंगे। यह है ध्रुवीकरण की मात्रा तथा ध्रुवीकरण का कोण, और इस तरह यह खगोलीय स्रोतों से उत्सर्जन प्रक्रियाओं को समझने में उत्कृष्ट निदान उपकरण साबित होंगे। XPoSAT द्वारा भारतीय विज्ञान समुदाय की राह पर यह एक प्रमुख अनुसंधान की दिशा है। XPoSAT में दो मुख्य वैज्ञानिक निदभार हैं जिनका नाम है पॉलिक्स और एक्सस्पेक्ट। इस उपग्रह का कुल भार 469 kg है। इस मिशन में लगभग 145 kg के वैज्ञानिक निदभार अंतरिक्ष प्रयोगों के लिए सफर कर रहे हैं। इन्हें अंतरिक्ष प्रयोग पोएम 3 का नाम दिया गया है। सर्वप्रथम पोयम PSLV ऑर्बिट एक्सपेरिमेंट मॉड्यूल का सफल प्रयोग 30 जून 2022 को PSLV C53 द्वारा देखा गया था। फिर 22 अप्रैल 2023 को PSLV C55 द्वारा पोयम 2 का प्रयोग भी हमने देखा। आज इसी कड़ी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए पोयम 3 के प्रयोग किए जाएंगे।
Third stage separated.
जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है। तृतीय चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है।
Vehicle in separated hosting for approximately 425 seconds.
Plus 10 minutes.
तृतीय चरण के पृथकन के पश्चात चतुर्थ चरण के प्रज्वलन में अभी समय है और इस दौरान PS4 का कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है। यह करीब 400 सेकंड तक जारी रहेगा।
The PS4 is currently not operational, though it is in the coasting phase, which will continue for 425 seconds in all.
Vehicle performance.
Right now, Dr. Bhattacharya, this of course we're seeing the graphical representation of the various stages of the rocket as well. If you could take us through the importance of these micro satellites and these small satellite systems, how are they important in this mission?
Spacecraft XPoSAT will be achieved.
Sir, I think you'll have to unmute yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm unmuted. But,
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So, microsatellites have the advantage that you can quickly build it. You can, it requires small teams, competent teams, but small teams, and less resources to build it. So, you can quickly build experiments. And now the facility is there, including in ISRO launches, to launch a whole lot of microsatellites in as co-passengers with other satellites. So therefore that provides a new platform for experiments for a very large number of groups actually. I mean, not just the major research institutions, but all across many educational institutions, many interest groups, they can put their experiments in microsatellites. And if you choose your niche well, some of these experiments can be very, very important as well. So, and this has now become quite a trend all over the world.
Right, absolutely. Stay with us, Dr. Bhattacharya. We'll in fact be joined by Dr. Varun Bhalerao as well, an astrophysicist with IIT Bombay, right after this short break. XPoSAT, which is India's first launch of polarimetry mission. It happened in Sriharikota just a few minutes ago. Now, in fact, we'll bring you the live visuals of the graphical representation of the mission as well. I'm being joined, of course, by Pallav Bagla, by Dr. Varun Bhalerao and Dr. Bhattacharya as well. Let me start with Dr. Bhalerao. Sir, thank you for joining us this morning. Not successful yet, we're yet to see that, but a launch of the PSLV has taken place, the XPoSAT has taken place to study black holes. How excited are you for this launch?
This is extremely exciting. As a scientific community, the world has been waiting for several decades to get something like this. And the first capability came in terms of IXP by NASA, which was launched just about 2 years ago. And it is fantastic that India is really the next one stepping up to this. And we've built a satellite. Our colleagues at the Raman Research Institute and ISRO have built a satellite that will actually outperform IXP in certain areas with a much larger energy range. So this is something that not just us, but all the astronomers around the world are looking forward to. And the science that we are going to get from this is going to be incredible.
Absolutely. Stay with us now. Pallav sir, how are we looking so far in the launch?
Oh, we are looking very good. And I must tell our viewers, on air, we have some of the finest astrophysicists you can have from India on air, even as the XPoSAT is on its way to studying the black holes and neutron stars. So some of the finest astrophysicists join me on this broadcast. Thanks a lot, Dr. Bhalerao. You're such a fine communicator, and Dr. Deepankar, who's been associated with XPoSAT for such a long time. So are both of you excited that we are closer to the reaching the orbit for XPoSAT? Because right now we are in the phase where the satellite is being taken closer and closer to the 650 circular orbit around Earth. Professor Bhalerao.
Yes, indeed. This is something that is quite nerve-wracking for us, and you can only imagine how how rattling this is going to be for the team that built the satellite. There years and years of work have gone into this, and this is where our work now begins. We are both members of the science working group for XPoSAT, for instance. And once the satellite goes up there, there are important phases about calibration, about verification. And when the scientific data starts pouring in, that is when we really have to get to work. So for the launch team, this launch is going to be the completion of their effort. And for the science team, this is just marking the beginning of all the work that lies in front of us.
Certainly, 5 years of very hard work, 5 years of very hard work for the scientific community. The Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle has performed as it was required. So far, it has been a copybook launch. Dr. Dipankar, why do we need to study black holes and neutron stars?
Because they are the most thrilling type of objects that you can think of. Extreme physics, the extreme conditions that operate in such sources are almost unimaginable. The only way we can really make ourselves familiar with it is by studies like this.
We should now head back and listen into what is coming in from Sriharikota as we are close to the launch of the ejection of the satellite from the 4th stage.
सभी बेसब्री से इंतजार करते हुए कक्षीय स्थितियां प्राप्त होते ही उपग्रह एक्सपोसैट को अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा.
The 4th stage of PSLV currently thrusting.
Plus 20 minutes.
PSLV C58 के चतुर्थ चरण PS4 को त्रैअक्षीय स्थिर कक्षीय मंच के लिए तैयार किया गया है. इस मंच से कई महत्वपूर्ण और नवीन अंतरिक्ष प्रयोगों को कार्यान्वित किया जाएगा. इसमें सोलर पैनल्स लगे हुए हैं जो कि 50 एम्पियर आवर के लिथियम आयन बैटरी को आवेशित करते हैं. इसमें नेविगेशन गाइडेंस कंट्रोल और टेलीकमांड कक्षीय आवृत्ति नियंत्रण तंत्र जैसे एवियोनिक सिस्टम भी लगे हुए हैं. यह पोयम की श्रृंखला में तृतीय प्रयोग है.
We are very close to the scheduled XPoSAT injection time.
जी हाँ, लगभग कक्षीय स्थितियां प्राप्त की जा चुकी हैं. अब किसी भी क्षण एक्सपोसैट को कक्षा में अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा. चतुर्थ चरण को निर्धारित रूप से बंद कर दिया गया है.
Satellite injection conditions are achieved.
Eagerly awaiting the next event.
उचित अभिवृत्ति प्राप्त करते हुए यान तत्पश्चात एक्सपोसैट को अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा. मुख्य उद्देश्य के प्राप्त होने के पश्चात प्रयोगात्मक क्रिया जारी रहेगी.
Satellite separated.
And there is a confirmation that the XPoSAT satellite has been separated.
जी हाँ, इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है रेंज ऑपरेशन डायरेक्टर द्वारा. एक्सपोसैट को सफलतापूर्वक अंतक्षेपित कर दिया गया है.
But mission is continuing for PS4 orbit platform experiment, that is POEM-3, with 2 phases of 4-stage restart. After 2 phases of restart, PS4 stage orbit will be changed to 350 km circular. The first phase for PS4 restart happens in non-visibility period. The second phase of PS4 restart takes place in the visibility period of Trivandrum in orbit 2. During the non-availability period, ground trace will be updated by extrapolation on the video wall. The non-visibility period is approximately 4,500 seconds. All the stations involved in operation shall continue in positions. Handing over to Mission Director.
आपने ऑनबोर्ड कैमरे की मदद से देखा एक्सपोसैट और यह खूबसूरत पृथ्वी का नजारा.
Has injected XPoSAT primary satellite into the desired orbit. We will be continuing the operations. 2 more PS4 restarts are planned, and the POEM-3 operations will be following. Approximately, the T0 will come around 2 hours after liftoff. Thank you.
अब इसके पश्चात हम आपको अध्यक्षीय संबोधन के लिए ले चलते हैं और हम आपसे आज्ञा लेते हैं.
First day of the year, first launch mission for ISRO. This success matters much more in view of the rich data that XPoSAT will give to the scientific community in the field of astronomy. Congratulations, Team ISRO. Do stand by for the address by Secretary TOS and Chairman ISRO, Sri S. Somnath. We take leave from you. Goodbye.
Right, sir, so the XPoSAT launch there successful. We're just going to be hearing Somnath speak in just a few moments, but how was the experience of that launch?
Oh, amazing. New year, new launch, new success. India going to study the universe, and we will very soon hear Mr. S. Somnath, Chairman of ISRO, addressing the community of scientists. Let us listen into him.
So happy New Year to all of you. So on 1st January 2024, yet another successful mission of PSLV has been accomplished. PSLV C-58 has placed the primary satellite XPoSAT in the desired orbit of 650 kilometer, 6-degree inclination, and we'll be waiting for the exact orbital parameters that will just now come. And we are also waiting for the satellite to have its solar panel deployed. That also will come in a few seconds from now. From this point, the orbit of the PSLV 4th stage will be reduced to a lower orbit, where the upper stage of the PSLV, which is now described as POEM, PSLV Orbital Experimental Module, will carry out experiments with 9 of the onboard payloads. And that will take some time. And we will come back to listen to all of that, what happened in the POEM experiments little later. Meantime, let me also announce the orbit that has been accomplished, which is available through various routes. It shows excellent orbit, and the deviations from the targeted orbit is hardly just 3 kilometers in circular orbit of 650 kilometer, and inclination is 001 degree, which is one of the very excellent orbital condition. And yet another announcement is the solar panel of the satellite also has been deployed successfully. So with this, the new year has begun with the launch of PSLV. We have an exciting time ahead. Much before telling all of that, let me invite the mission director to have its words. Mr. Jayakumar is the mission director.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm extremely happy to stand here to celebrate the grand success of the 60th launch of PSLV. As you all know, XPoSAT is a space observatory, but what makes this mission more interesting is the host of new technologies that are getting demonstrated in the POEM-3 experiment. We have fuel cell, we have the silicon-based 10 ampere hour high energy battery, green monopropellant thrusters, amateur radio satellite service, and more important, a totally women engineered satellite for the comparison of solar irradiance and UV index. This, I think, showcases the women empowerment in the field of science and technology, and all the payloads, in fact, demonstrate the reforms that are currently sweeping the Indian space sector. But today's success has been made possible by the tremendous efforts put in by a whole group of people from Team ISRO, along with other stakeholders. This mission would not have been possible but for the wholehearted effort put in by various teams, the SDAs and SR agencies spread across different centers, starting from SDSC, URSC, STRAC, LPSC, IPRC, VSSC, IISU, LEOS, and also ISRO headquarters. I would also like to thank InSpace for acting as a nodal agency in identifying the payloads for POEM-3 and all the NGs for delivering the various payloads adhering to our schedule. Let me also thank our industry partners for delivering quality products for the realization of the launch vehicle. Let me take this opportunity to thank Chairman ISRO for the mentoring and the guidance provided, and all center directors. Specifically, I would like to thank Chairman and members of MRR, FRR, LV and ORC, Padmamar sir, Ashok sir and Shuja sir. They have taken extensive reviews, and all the DRTs for clearing the various systems, also the admin and the auxiliary services who have supported. I would also like to thank my own project team, especially Vehicle Director Damodaran, Associate Vehicle Director Joyce Jose, all the DPDs, the other team members, and the Project Management Office who has been effectively managing the campaign activities. Finally, I thank our family members for the support they provided to make our missions successful. Wishing all of you a happy and a successful new year. Good day. Jai Hind.